You're welcome back to the Global Morning, and of course, it is Global Television. Welcome back from the AM News at 8 o'clock. Now is for us to get into the first conversation today. The politics is getting hotter, probably because of 2027. The coalitions are doing everything. Just this morning, I was seeing something online by Boala where he was saying Ndume may be joining the Atiku and Obi coalition. But then, a lot going on the ground. Some persons are saying this coalition may not hold enough water to give the People's Democratic Party, the SDP, then the PDP. How formidable are they to give APC a run for their money? To be forming basis of our discussion today, and we'll be looking at coalition. Atiku and others visit the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the person of Muhammadu Buhari. What do you think may have informed that visit? I have an elder statesman joining me on the conversation this morning, Dr. Bartholomew Agbochenu. It's good to have you join us on the program this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Well, again, we want to talk politics. We want to talk. We won't get tired of talking about these incidences because day by day things keeps unfolding. Now, Atiku and others have paid visits to the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. For a very long time, Muhammadu Buhari have been very quiet after he left office as the president. Maybe he wanted to take a chill pill and relax a little bit, but now, owing to the fact that 2027 is drawing closer, people are beginning to politic in different ways, and he was being visited. Do you see any undertone to visit, or it's normal? People just went to visit their former president. Remember, these are the people forming coalition.
Well, anybody that is into politics, politics is a game of activities. You always look forward to seeing what you can be doing part-time so that people see you to be working. So that people see you to be working. All of us, we know the person of former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. He is not an orator. He is not the talking type. He doesn't take a drive into talking people into activities. Why he had the edge in the quest into the federal office was because people moved to bring him to the scene. Even if it were led for him to give a drive, I don't know how he would have done it. All of us will know that former President Muhammadu Buhari is not the talking type. But when you find yourself in the coerced environment, you always want to get something doing by all means so that people will know that you are doing something as a politician. You know, the opposition, you know, they are disenfranchised, kind of, and they would like people to see them as doing some certain things so that they will not be seen to have been packed in a cooler. Muhammadu Buhari has his own decision to make, and people in his web equally, individually have their own decisions to make. Going to meet Muhammadu Buhari may not open the floodgate for people to begin to leave APC heading for PDP or SDP. So to say, yes, I mean what I am saying. So the visit may not be the nodal line that may cause a floodgate to be open for people to begin to cross carpet from APC to PDP. Muhammadu Buhari can make up his own mind to remain in APC and can make up his mind to cross carpet from APC to whatever party. So also every other politician has his or her own decision to make. And so the movement to go and visit Muhammadu Buhari, if you leave it to me, I will now say is an activity in an action to keep them defined as having to be doing some certain things so that people see them to be working.
But then, you said the former president is not a talking type. But looking at his influence, do you see him being able to make any difference in 2027? Does he have what it takes? Because one of the, you've defined him to an extent. You say, number one, he's not a talking type. Then secondly, he also have his own decision to make, whether or not to leave the People's Democratic Party. APC, I mean, All Progressive Congress, the All Progressive Congress Party. Now, don't you think he can still remain in APC as a former APC president and still make things happen? Remember, APC is parties coming together, his own party and other parties came together to form APC. Do you see him having any influence as far as 2027 is concerned?
I don't see him having any influence because Nigeria is in dynamism. If you take a clear study of what is happening in Nigeria, Nigeria is in dynamism. So many political analysts have come forward to chip in their position on the matter, saying that former President Muhammadu Buhari may not unilaterally make up his mind to jet out of APC, considering the gains he had gotten from APC. APC giving him tickets for 2 terms. You know, it may not be easy for him to jet out of APC no matter what use he may feel obtainable in APC for now. Yes, I may seem to agree with such political analysis, but what I stand and I make bold to say is that he cannot make decision for every other person, most especially as people have eyes to see. People who see APC as not performing. Former President Muhammadu Buhari may not be able to coerce them into taking decisions that are against their own will. So, looking at 2027 in view, the highest I feel former President Muhammadu Buhari can do is to take care of himself, is to operate within the territory of his own vein. But as for others, it depends on the perception they hold towards the government. If others see the government as not performing, there is little or nothing that former President Muhammadu Buhari can do to influence their decision.
All right, we're looking at the visit by some persons. All right, now let's look at this very critically now. Labour Party, remember the people forming this coalition is Atiku from PDP, and now PDP is divided into 2. If this coalition is going to happen right now, it means a faction of PDP will be joining the coalition, then the other faction. What do you think will happen? And don't you think they will fight, all right, the other party that will want to be part of the coalition? Remember, we have the Atiku party, then we'll have the G5 governors, which is being led by the FCT minister. Is it going to be really smooth for this coalition? Because instead of only APC now fighting this coalition, they are going to have other internal members also fighting this coalition. What do you think about this coalition on the whole?
Before the coalition succeeds, there is one stringent issue that needs to be nipped in the bud. Without which, all they will be doing will be a mere jamboree. Before the coalition can succeed, they should have a single aim. They should have a single objective. What is that objective? Is to edge Tinubu out of government. Let everybody drop their personal interests. If all the people, they drop their personal interests and they say, okay, our common enemy is Tinubu, then they will have their way. This is not the first time that coalition is happening and succeeding. It was coalition that brought Muhammadu Buhari to Aso Rock in 2015. So if it succeeded then, why can't it now? Before it succeeded for Buhari, PDP was very strong. To the extent that PDP was panting her chest that they were going to be in government for 60 years. As a journalist, I think you could remember. They were panting.
I remember it's the same thing that's happening now, because APC is even saying this coalition is not strong. In fact, vote of confidence was even passed on Ganduje, and because of the off-cycle election that was conducted that they won. And even APC right now, they're also beating their chest to say, well, this coalition is nothing.
So what actually I am saying is, APC is saying that the coalition is nothing. They should be able to see something. They should be able to see something that was not existent during their own time when they took over government. PDP was stronger than they are today. But because they had a unitary focus, let's edge Goodluck Jonathan out of government. It doesn't matter the person that is coming. It doesn't matter the person that is coming. So they came together, they formed a coalition, and they were able to succeed. If success was achieved then, why can't it? Why can't it now? APC has not wielded strength as PDP wielded in 2015. The only thing that will fight against them, the only thing that will debar them of having what they're looking for is if they have divided interests. If they have divided interests. Like you are saying that in PDP, they are divided. If the division continues, then the coalition is going to fail. If the division continues. Like, if what I'm seeing is the right thing, it appears as if APC are trying to use Wike to puncture PDP, to weaken PDP. And if I am right, and I'm guessing well, the way you are seeing is still the same way I am seeing. What is that way of sight? That Wike is bodily in PDP, but is spiritually in APC. And that is why he's doing everything to make sure he brings PDP down. How do you interpret him revoking the license for the PDP headquarters that is in central area here? under the guise that they had not paid their rent for 20 years. A structure, national headquarters for PDP that they built. This Nikon Plaza here, adjacent to it, opposite Sterling Bank, almost opposite Sterling Bank, about an 11-story building that PDP has erected. Wike has revoked it. And Wike is in PDP.
But is it right? Is it right for the People's Democratic Party to not have paid for it for 20 years?
Listen to me. Listen to where I'm going. Listen to me very well. You see, what is that money that Wike cannot pay? If Wike's spirit is in PDP, what is that money? Even if they had paid that money, you know, there is dynamism in government. Wike could still look for one thing or the other to bring against that structure. Since his spirit is not there. Since his spirit is not there. So, they're trying to use Wike to weaken PDP. If they succeed, then the coalition may not succeed. But if those that are in PDP, those that are in Labour Party, those that are in SDP, they now say, no, let's bury all our hatchets. Let's bury all our differences. And let us have a common focus. What is that focus? Edge Tinubu out of government 2027. Undermining whatever fundamental and basic differences that may tear them apart. That is when they are going to succeed. In Rivers, last year, when there was a local government election, Wike was in control of PDP, and the whole of Rivers was PDP. And Wike and Fubara were not in good terms. And Wike now said that tickets should not be given to those loyal to Fubara. Do you know Fubara? What Fubara did? Fubara told them to decamp to other parties, get the ticket, because Fubara had the people. And these people that are loyal to Fubara, they had the people. They decamped and they went and they won. The same thing can still happen this time around. Wike is in charge of PDP. The National Working Committee of PDP, they are for Wike. But the governors are against Wike. And the governors are the ones that have the people. The governors are the ones that have the people. The governors to the local government chairman, they are the ones that have the people. They cannot come together and say, okay, let the structure be for Wike, but we have the people. Let us all come together and form a coalition. If they have a defined focus, the coalition will happen. There's nothing that they can do to stop the coalition from happening. But if Atiku becomes selfish, or Ubi becomes selfish, Kwankwaso becomes selfish, El-Rufai, name them. If they become selfish, if they have a person, they have personal drives individually to advance, that is what will go against their mission. If not, if they don't have personal drives, what Ganduje is saying is just saying that there's no how he can stop them. If he's saying coalition cannot work, It will not stop them. Like, if I may bring you on board, Ramsey, the coalition, the way they have started, if they continue, it's going to be very, very hard.
But the problem now, Doctor,
for the ruling party.
Doctor, the problem now is the fact that we're still having the recycling. These are the same people in PDP, these are the same people in APC coming together. These are people who are leaving other parties because they are not satisfied, because probably they didn't get some positions in those parties. These are people that Nigerians have known in the past. These are people that some persons can point to and say one or two things that may not be pleasant to the ears, as the case may be, depending on individual perspective. Now, what do you think? Because it is not even all about the people. Remember what happened to the Labour Party. The Labour Party had massive followership because of an individual, and that is Peter Obi. We're talking about this coalition now. What about the internal crisis? Don't you think this internal crisis needs to be settled before this coalition is formed? Talk about Labour Party, for instance. Labour Party have 2 or 3 factions as we speak. Talk about the People's Democratic Party. They have their own faction too. SDP, where El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, actually defected to. In his own state, Kaduna State, SDP have said in one of the papers that they don't even know him, that he is not their member. Looking at all of these controversies, don't you think they need to settle their internal crisis, the intra-party crisis first, before they even talk about coming together?
Yes. Before I move into the intra-party crisis that bedevil the various parties involved, let me try to put you right concerning the point that you raised at the first instance. When I'm saying that all these people that are trying to coalesce are people that have been recycling right around and round in the political system. Ramsey, there's no how you can stop that. There's no how you can stop that. You know, the highest echelon of people, the oligarchs, you know, the aristocrats, the bourgeois, they are always there. A motor parked out cannot go there to say anything. Nobody listens to him. A classroom teacher will not go there to say anything. Nobody listens to him. Except the one that God says, this is what I want to do. They are still the same people recycling among themselves. If it must not be any one of them, then what you expect should be a revolution. It is when a revolution takes place, then you look for people that will come over to the seat of the government to make things happen. If not, if a revolution does not happen and God does not intervene among the oligarchs that I can see for now, among those that are in the highest echelon of political jingles, we will still be getting the same kind of people. We will still be getting the same kind of people. We are still at their mercies, except if God, for once, decides to listen to the prayer of the poor, the prayer of the less privileged, the prayer of people who are always looking forward unto God for livelihood. God can descend and make things happen. If not, it is still the same kind of people that you are looking for. Can you predict Atiku? Can you even predict Obi? we are still looking at Obi from a far distance. Or is it El-Rufai? You can predict, or Kwankwaso, or whoever. I, for one, I cannot predict anybody. I cannot predict them. So, getting the right people, fixing the right peg in the right hole. As for now, I don't know what happens. But what we are just discussing is people forming the coalition to topple the government. How possible is it? How impossible is it? So these are the ones we are talking about, and the answer is just simple. It is possible now. It is possible if they have a common goal. If they present a common interest. If they decide to drop their personal drives. I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this, I want to be that. If you don't drop that, if Atiku is hell-bent on becoming the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they may hit a rock. Or if someone else is hell-bent on becoming the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the person may hit a rock. But if they now say, okay, it doesn't matter who becomes the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, what we are all out to, because Tinubu is bringing in anti-people policy. His policies are anti-people. We want to jet him out. If that becomes the sole goal, it will happen.
But then, looking at the three of them now, the three you just mentioned, Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso, El-Rufai, four of them that you just mentioned now, these are people that have already tested the water. All of them, you see, contested. Like you made mention, among the four of them, if there is a coalition, who do you think is the best to be fronted?
I don't know.
Tickets?
I don't know.
I'm putting you on the hot seat, doctor.
I don't know. I don't know. Many often times...
You already say you can't predict them.
Yes.
Anyway.
Many often times the norm, you don't know the savor of a meal until you taste it. And there is a common adage that goes, it says, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts what? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You may not know how someone may be able to behave until you let him have. You know, Tinubu, the way he was behaving when he was the governor of Lagos State is quite different from the way he's behaving now. When he was the governor of Lagos State, yeah, he had some restrictions. He had some restrictions. There were some things that he could not do. But right now, there's nothing that he cannot do. There's nothing that he cannot do. He makes up his mind to do a thing, and he pronounces it, if you like, go and die. Like the issue of the fuel hike. He did not consult anybody before he brought the fuel hike. And although people were shouting, he did not mind. He went ahead. He went ahead. I don't know what Obi can do outrightly now until he gets there. You know, the savor of a meal is in the tasting. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. There are some people, even in the church, you may see a worker, elevate him to become a pastor. He may begin to behave abnormally. Is it not the worker that we promoted to become a pastor? How come he is behaving in this manner? So, you know, leaders are made by God. And people, leaders that are people-centric, they are made by God. Even myself, I don't know myself until I see myself behaving, until I see myself acting. I don't know myself until I see myself acting. So I don't know any other person until I see that person acting. I define a person by his actions. By his action, not by his physical appearance, or not by what he says. So that is how it is. And the best bet could even be that among all of them, they will decide and say, okay, all of us that are here, nobody, we are not going to present anybody. Let's look for a neutral person to present. You know, that will show more of their neutrality and their patriotism. So that is how it is. So as for the people that are bigwigs, that are frontliners in this coalition process, I cannot say for sure that when this person comes, he may be the deliverer for Nigeria.
But you know, you said something while you were speaking. You said for the FCT minister, he's in PDP, but is it physically in PDP?
He is physically in PDP, but he is spiritually in APC.
And you said something like he's the one causing problem in PDP in favor of APC. Was that what you said?
That was what I said.
So why do you say that? What makes you say
can't
that?
You see? Don't you have eyes? Don't you have ears? Don't you know what he is causing in rivers? And I have mentioned some things. I say he has revoked the license for the PDP structure that is in Abuja. Now, let's take a look at this. If you're a principal of a school and you're driving students home for not paying school fees, can you drive your son? If your son does not pay school fees, can you drive your son?
You should drive your son if you want to. If you really want the school to grow, you should drive your son.
You should. That is the proper thing. That is the proper thing.
Yeah.
That is the proper thing.
Yes.
But proper things don't happen in Nigeria. Proper things don't happen in Nigeria. If you are in charge of admission to NDA in Nigeria, it's very, very difficult for your son to be in position to be there.
But doctor,
and you say he is not qualified.
I beg to differ that better no proper thing happens in Nigeria. Is it at all with everyone or with some persons? Because if you say proper things don't happen in Nigeria, that is holistic and is generic. Don't you think it's just some persons? Because I beg to differ. I've done proper things in Nigeria before.
It is not possible for everybody in Nigeria to be a bad person.
Okay.
And it is not possible for everybody in Nigeria to be a good person. But I make bold to tell you that majority of Nigerians are bad.
People in governance or everyone?
People in governance and everywhere. People in governance and everywhere. And you know, I don't know, because of my orientation as a mathematician, we approximate when about 98% of the people are bad and 2 people are good. You are free to say nobody is good in Nigeria.
Approximately.
Approximately. If you say nobody is good in Nigeria, you are permitted to say that. So saying that
everybody is not a mathematician, so you might just be misquoted. Like I am begging to differ now.
Yes, everybody is not a mathematician. So you can listen to a mathematician and learn. You can listen to a mathematician and learn. You know, it is written, the Bible that I preach, it is written, none is righteous. No, not one. The Bible puts it that nobody is righteous. No, not one. But the same Bible spoke about somebody that was righteous. the same Bible, he spoke about somebody that was righteous. Who was that person? Job. When God questioned Job, where are you coming from and where are you going? He said, I'm from moving to and fro on the surface of the earth.
So let's come back to the discussion now. Let's come back from the Bible now and talk about the issue of Wike's. I don't know. I don't want to use the word hanky panky because already you've said he is not in PDP and he's not in APC. But now, as it is right now, are you being tempted to say some of the crisis going on in these parties is being instigated by some persons in APC, like some persons are alleging?
Why not? Why
You're
not?
so confident about that?
Nobody should tell you that before you know.
How
Nobody, please, let me be very, very blunt. Let me be very, very blunt. Our president is our president doing the right thing. Is our president doing the right thing without being told. Don't you know that he could be complicit with what is happening in Rivers? Wike is his appointee. And he knows that what is happening in Rivers is being orchestrated by Wike. What prevents him from giving a phone call? My son, please pipe down. That will settle the whole thing. That will settle the whole thing. Tinubu is aware of the rift in Rivers. Tinubu is aware of the squabbles between Wike and Fubara. What prevents Tinubu from calling Wike? No, please, keep that.
But he has made efforts.
Push effort.
I think there was a meeting they held.
Ogami, forget about that. Push effort. Forget about that. They may hold the meetings physically and spiritually. There could be another tool. There could be another tool. Tinubu is the one fueling the crisis in Rivers.
But
Tinubu, wait a little, let me learn. He's the one fueling the rift in Rivers. He knows that the rift in Rivers is as a result of the differences between Wike and Fubara. Call Wike now, say please, pipe low. Let us build the country. What will that do to him? Wike will listen to him. If Wike decides not to listen to him, he will lose his job. And Wike does not want to lose it. Look, we are not children. We are not children. Our minds, our brains are working. Our eyes are seeing, and our minds are working.
Do you remember that the
Let me land, please. I will listen to you.
Okay.
Let me land. I will listen to you.
That's right. That's right.
You get what I'm saying? Instead of doing that, he kept quiet. And the reason he got for instituting the state of emergency in the state is that pipelines are being blown. Okay, is that the solution? If pipelines are being blown, even if the pipelines are blown, you don't know why the pipelines are being blown. That cannot be disconnected from the upheavals between Wike and Fubara. Solve it from that end, and you will write your name in gold. And you will write your name in gold. This one that he has done, people are seeing his nakedness. That is the one fueling the crisis
but
in Rivers.
The state of emergency, when a state of emergency is being declared in a state, is maybe something is going wrong, and someone has seen ahead that if state of emergency is not being declared, there is going to be a lot of instability, a lot of crisis, and all of that. Lives may be lost. And the president said the state of emergency is being declared because of peace, because he talked about vandalizing pipelines right now. Apart from that, don't you think it may escalate into other things, and then that has necessitated the state of emergency, even though some persons from different quarters have different perspective to it, like you're saying now? But then the president didn't keep quiet. Probably what he did is because okay, the two of you are struggling for this position. What we need to do to settle this case, as we are trying to settle this situation, somebody else should be there. Then we will do our underground checks and settle the situation. Don't you think that would have been better, instead of throwing the whole River State into chaos, into a place that is being handled unconstitutionally, violence, protests, and lives and properties being lost?
Now, let me tell you, Ramsey, look, my makeup, I am not a sycophant, and I don't panel beat issues. I don't move round and round. I move straight away. I move straight away to the point. What are those things that are happening in rivers that are not happening elsewhere? What are those things that are happening in rivers that would necessitate the state of emergency that are not happening elsewhere? Some few days ago, about 70 people were massacred in Plateau. About 70 people were massacred in Plateau. And then compare that to the pipeline that was blown. Lies! Why didn't he declare the state of emergency there? Why? For more than close to 20 years, the Boko Harams are in the northeast. Why don't you declare the state of emergency there? Bello, 2G Bello is controlling banditry in Zamfara state. Declare the state of emergency there now. Bandits are in Katsina. If you are a first timer on the road from Zaria to Katsina, pray that God takes you down safely. Pray that God takes you down safely. Declare the state of emergency there now. Declare the state of emergency there now. Where lives are involved, you don't declare the state of emergency. You say, okay, because the crude is the treasure base of the nation. You got the money and you lose people. That means you don't have value for the lives of the people that you are ruling. I have told you how the situation in Rivers would have been handled. A single phone call to Wike is enough. And even right now, the problem is still there. The administration there is by coercion. Is by coercion. It is not from the volition, the willingness of the people. We don't know what to do anymore. They are telling us to do this, that. And a little opportunity, another thing may erupt.
Oh, all right.
No, so the state of emergency in Rivers is not for peace to prevail, but for him to gain control and be able to transmit the PDP structures there into APC structures. That is what everybody sees. And I believe that is what you are seeing too. But as a journalist, you may not come out bluntly as I, who is a free man, a political analyst, could do. That is the undertone.
No, I'm a free man. Just that
is the undertone.
I need to be
whether Tinubu says
my facts before
or he does not say it. The one of this Obasanjo did something like this during his own time, but he was straightforward. He was straightforward. But the government in power, they are behaving like a chameleon. And they want to feel that we don't have sense to diagnose into what they are saying. They are doing. Obasanjo, during his time, he had a vision to get all the states for PDP. And of course, Southwest, out of the 6 states in the Southwest, he collected 5. Brutally. Yes. I mean brutally. It was clear to us. And he brought out himself clear. Tinubu, if you want to collect rivers, come out clear now. It will define you better than you coming out through the back door and behaving like a chameleon.
All right, hold your thought for a minute. As it is right now, you know, we are in the media space. We are so objective, and when we talk with facts. Not that we are afraid of saying what is real, and that's what we do. We try as much as possible to be objective. As a matter of fact, since everybody is entitled to their opinion, everything you've said now is your opinion and your perspective to the things happening in the society, which is the way it is for you. Let's go on a quick break. There is another conversation, another thing that we would also need to talk about on Global Morning today. Let's go on a quick break. Many thanks to Dr. For staying with us on Global Television, Global Morning today. After this break, we'll return for another conversation. Stay with us. Welcome back. It is still our Global Morning, and we've been talking about the visit to the former president, and my guest is still in the studio. Now there is something that I want us to talk about, and is very important. I want to take us a little bit from the visit to the former president to what is happening in Edo State, because Edo State governor and the Edo State People's Democratic Party at loggerhead right now because of the campaign going on for His Excellency Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who in the papers this morning was speaking to supporters as regards the issue of campaigning. Our politicians are now focusing on politicking instead of governance, which is becoming worrisome, even though we know that there are times set for all these campaigns. And of course, the people who are supposed to go ahead with this campaign. I still have my guest in the studio, Reverend Dr. Bartholomew, Agbochenu, an elder statesman, who is going to talk to us a little bit about it. It's still good to have you with us on Global Morning today. Let's go a little bit to Edo State. Because the People's Democratic Party in Edo State, we are not happy, and they didn't keep quiet. All right, about the issue of Okpebolo, the governor of Edo State, who is now campaigning, okay, setting up campaign for the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2027, for 2027 presidential race. Some persons are saying that you just won from the tribunal and PDP is not satisfied yet, they've gone to appeal. Now, what you are doing, are you trying to make the people understand that whatever you are doing in Edo State, the president is behind you, or you are trying to negotiate for the support of the president by campaigning even before it's time for him against 2027? I don't know, what's your take? What's your perspective?
Ramsey, the problem we have in Nigeria is not from the commoners. It is from the oligarchs. It is from the aristocrats. It is from the people of the high echelon. It is from governance. People who seem to be making laws. They are the people spoiling the country. I was in a car coming for this appointment, and the person I was in the car, when we were coming, we were on the highway coming, and somebody was taking a one way, and the person became apprehensive and say, why should this person be taken one way? The person is breaking the law. I say it's not the person that is breaking the law. It's the system in the country. Can you see people drive like this in US? In the United States of America, can you see people drive like this one way? The system has made it so. Those that are in governance, they are on one way in their various separate capacities. They are on their own way. This action of Opebolo is one way. Is one way. How can you come up to begin to do campaign? Number one, it's not your time for campaign. Number two, you have a case in court which is sub judice, but you are not bothered because you feel like you can never commit any offense, provided you are a son to the CNC. You are a son to the CNC. You are covered. You are protected. You can do everything. You can do anything at all that you want to do. And the reason is simply the system. And I want to make this suggestion in a constitutional review. Let them put it as we elect the executives and we elect the legislature. Let us also elect the judiciary, people who man the judiciary. You know, the judiciary, they are the problems of this country. They are at the whims and caprices of the executive. Whatever the executive tells them to do is what they do. If you don't do it, they jet you out of office. Buhari jetted Onogen out of office because he knew that Onogen would not do what he would want him to do, and brought Tanko. That is how it is. And so, if the constitution is reviewed in such a way that judges are elected from how do we call it, the magistrate court down to the Supreme Court, they will be autonomous. Judges are not autonomous. If you wouldn't do the biddings of the executive, then you are indirectly throwing in your resignation letter. So I want to propose, before we get a steady justice in Nigeria, let the judges be independent. And if they will be independent, let them be elected and not appointed. Let them be elected and not appointed. What Opebolo has done, you know that if the law any complaint in court against him, it will still be the same story. Nothing strongly will be done about him. And he has that feeling. He has that feeling. If not, why will you be going about campaigning? You don't have shame. People who don't even have cases in court, they are not campaigning. You who have cases in court, you are campaigning. And I want to your line of reasoning that probably he is trying to win the favor of the CNC. Which favor are you trying to win again? You already a governor. Relax and do your government. And carry out your administration. Which other thing do you want? You want him to give you second term there? Finish the first term. First now. So that is how it is. So I may be tempted to tow your line of reasoning that maybe he wants to win the favor of the CNC. And that is what is spoiling Nigeria.
That is not my line of reasoning anyway. That's what some Nigerians are saying. Well, just trying to say what Nigerians are saying, not my personal opinion. But then, let's get to these facts now. Apart from just Okpebolo, a lot of people are focusing on 2027 and forgetting about governance. How can this situation be arrested? Because eyes are already on 2027. We're in 2025. I think probably a year plus before we get into the elections. Campaigns will soon hit the road, even though it's not time yet. Why are people focusing? Some people is it distraction, or is it that they are doing it deliberately? Not just Okpebolo. There are a lot of things going on the ground. There are people from the north who have been singing campaign. You know, as a lot of things happening. What do we do to get these things corrected? Because what we need right now is proper governance, looking at what is happening instead of politicking for 2027. Why not face governance? Even the president himself came out in one of the papers this morning to talk to the supporters, to say it's not yet time.
People who are talking about 2027 may have some psychiatric problems. That is my take. 2027 is too premature to be talked about. It is too premature to talk about 2027. My take in this matter is to toe the part of Natasha Akpoti Oduogan, the senator representing Kogi Central. You know, when people were talking about how you are becoming too popular, are you wielding some interest towards 2027? He said, no, I am not talking about 2027 yet, because I don't know whether I may even live up to that time. I am concerned about the now. And that should be the reasoning of everybody. Do you know whether you will live till 2027? If anybody told you that today Taoreed Lambaja will not be alive, would you believe it? But he is gone. He is gone. Anybody can go. Even the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can go. He can go. 2027, it is too premature to begin to talk about 2027. My take on the matter is for everybody to relax. Let the atmosphere be calm. Let governance go ahead. Those who are in government, let them deliver good governance to us. And those of us that are being governed, let's watch carefully. If they do well, we re-elect them. If they don't do well, we vote them out. If our votes would count. If our votes would count. And my advice to those in government is to make sure that they deliver good governance. That they deliver good governance. If they don't deliver good governance and they are into suppressing the people, they should know that God is there watching us, and God can do whatever he wants to do any moment, any time. God is the owner of the air you are breathing. The blood that flow in your vein, God made them. God made them. You are not alive because of the medical attentions that you receive. You are alive because God protects you. God sustains you. So you should think on making God happy. Making God happy is making his children happy.
Oh, all right.
Rather than to begin to begin to talk about 2027
But then,
when you have not gone
Doctor,
halfway your first tenure?
there is this saying that every good politician most politicians start planning for the next election the first day they get into office. That's what some people believe. But this presidency today, even in the Nigerian News Direct, they said they are focused on revitalizing the economy and, of course, handling the insecurity and not 2027. The presidency said that in Nigerian News Direct newspaper this morning.
Let it be as they have said. They may be saying something and may be meaning another thing at the undertone. It may surprise you to find out that all these people that are doing these things, they are the ones sending them. But in the open, they don't want people to know that they are the ones sending them. If they mean what they have said, then glory be to God.
All right, that's okay. Many thanks for joining us today. It's been established already. 2027. Well, so much will be going down in 2027, but then governance, politicking, and of course the dividends of democracy very important. Many thanks once again, Doctor, for joining us on the conversation today.
My pleasure.
All right, as a matter of fact, this is going to be the size of the conversation today. And of course, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll bring the global morning to a close. These are perspectives. These are opinions of an elder statesman, which is entirely his opinion and not that of global television. And as a matter of fact, you have your own opinion too. You can go on our social media to drop your own opinion for us, and we'll pick it up from there. We are at Global TV NG on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Let's get talking all the time. Let's go to a quick break. After this break, we'll return and we'll bring Global Morning to a close after this break. Stay with us.